Linkle Liver Story is an action role-playing game for the Sega Saturn, released in Japan in 1996. The Saturn has many Japanese exclusives, but in January 2019, Aisha, Paul Met, and Pennywise released a patch to bring this one into English. And it looks like they did a good job. So, what are we waiting for? The plot doesn't seem to have an awful lot of depth. It's your typical Japanese fantasy story with mythical creatures and some terrible thing that you must rescue them from. You play the role of a young girl who sets out to help the fellow folk of her village. I have to say, though, that even though the story doesn't give us any surprises, the English translation is of a very high quality. It certainly gives the impression of an official localization, and you could easily fool someone into thinking that it was. Being an RPG, the translation definitely helps. They also translated the manual, which I highly recommend reading to help you out. The game is an action RPG, so there's no random battles or grinding to worry about. Instead, you encounter enemies throughout the world, and collect pearls, which are then used to cultivate your weapons. Cultivate, you ask? Yes, indeed. Instead of traditional leveling up or acquiring new weapons, you use seeds and flowers to essentially grow more advanced weaponry. It is quite a unique system, but again, you'd be better off reading the manual to figure out how it works, since I was a little confused when I first encountered it. There are 7 different weapons you can use, and you can gain magical powers too. I haven't got there yet, though, so I can't show you any of that. Sometimes when you play an RPG, you can often encounter confusing situations where you don't know exactly what to do next. Thankfully, the light puzzle solving that takes place here has so far not caused me any concern. For example, once I learnt that this big monolith fellow couldn't be attacked, I quickly realised that his slamming on the ground must be useful for something, which led me to guiding him onto the rocks that were blocking my path. There are lots of little things here and there, so solving them is part of the fun. It's not the hardest game out there. You can get a game over, of course, but right from the beginning, your hero has plenty of health to deal with it. Graphically, it looks like the next step up from the 16-bit consoles, with colourful 2D sprites mixing with light 3D features. It's the kind of look that the Saturn excels at, and you have to wonder why the game never made it into English. Presumably it's a mixture of reasons. The Saturn was performing poorly outside Japan by this stage, and 3D games were all the rage, so maybe it put the publishers off. It's a shame that it's taken over 20 years to really enjoy the game in English, but I'm glad that we got there eventually. If you like action RPGs like A Link to the Past or Crystalis, then you probably should give this game a chance. Credit goes to the marvellous people who clearly put in a lot of work to bring this translation to fruition. I'm certainly glad that I got the chance to play it, and given the chance, I'm sure you will too. Oh, and no, I don't know what the title means. Nobody does.